Welcome back to the Gun Collective. My name is John Patton, and I'm here with Eric McBride, the founder of MTAC here in Muncie, Indiana. They are a shoot house facility. It's very, very cool. We did another video talking about the mistakes that people make in force-on-force training scenarios, all those sorts of things. And what we want to do today is share with you 5 easy things that you can do to prepare yourself for force-on-force and reality-based training. So what's number 1?
Number 1 is become proficient in all 3 gun platforms: pistol, rifle, and shotgun.
Okay, that's simple enough. What do you mean by proficient?
That's the key. It's a relative term. So meaning that you are able to operate that weapons platform without having to think about it. If you hear the wrong click, you know what that is, and you make the change. If you are shooting it and it needs reloaded, you know how to do that without thinking about it, or necessarily having to stop and concentrate on it.
So learn how to manipulate your weapon, be comfortable with it.
Drawing it from the holster or from a low ready or high ready position.
I want a giant 18-inch shotgun holster. We can probably make that work.
And before we get into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to Axel Ear Pro. These guys make some of the best stuff that I'm aware of. This is the Ghost Strike Extreme, the GS Extreme, and if you use our link in the description, you get a massive discount. I think it's somewhere between 25 and 50% off these units. They're Bluetooth, they are sound amplifying, sound deadening, they've got different tips to fit different ear sizes, and overall, they're just rad. So go check out them, the Axel GS Extreme, at the link down in the description.
And that brings us to number 2.
Number 2, let's do some stress shooting. Let's do some shooting around barricades, and then let's also shoot and move.
Ooh, shooting and moving is fun.
It is.
It's fun, especially when you get a buddy.
I see a lot of interesting stuff, too.
That requires us to have friends. What do you see? That's another video. We'll do that another time. So number 2 is get out and stress yourself while you're shooting.
Correct. So a lot of times we get that tunnel vision. We get auditory exclusion. So what happens is we get focused in on the threat and the stress is hitting us. And if you're not familiar with having that stress and shooting, things can go bad.
So number 3, Eric told me, is having a clear understanding of your mission. Explain what that means.
So when you think about the missions of an armed citizen, we think of home defense and definitely personal protection.
Okay.
There's a big difference. There's some people that don't want to carry a gun on them every day, but my gosh, if you step foot in their house, you're going to get it, right?
Well, that's great. That's just great, man. Now what the are we supposed to do?
Sure.
So each mission, whether it's personal defense or personal protection, or home defense,
okay,
has a whole different set of tactics and skills involved. They also have a different gear selection and placement of your weaponry.
That was something that always came up when I was in gun shops. It's I want a gun, but are you going to carry it? Because that caveat means that you will get into different things more often than not. They have crossover, of course, but that's very interesting. So understanding what you're attempting to do and what your mission is one of the easy things that you can start to understand and wrap your brain around and make you better, right?
Well, and absolutely helps you choose the right classes.
Good point.
Yeah.
So that takes us into point number 4, which is gear for that mission.
Right. Absolutely. If your idea is, or your mission is personal protection, we're thinking more concealed holsters.
Sort of the gray man type gear.
Absolutely.
I don't like that term these days, but
it's it may be an ankle med kit. It may be what people refer to as your EDC. In fact, our classes are called Everyday Carry. So
okay,
that helps you focus right in on that. However, if you rolled in to our Everyday Carry class, fully tacked out, all multi-cammed out.
Helmet on.
Yeah, got your helmet on, got your nods ready. Probably not the right gear for that mission.
I just want to LARP. That's all I want to do.
That's what, yeah.
I just want to LARP.
Yep. Well, I mean, that could be a mission on its own.
Some dragon skin armor, a flamethrower, and what are the quad nods called? I don't know what they're called.
Panoramics.
Yeah, the panoramic. Yeah, let's get some of those and a flamethrower and just not make any sense.
That'd change medieval times.
So that brings us to number 5. What's number 5? And don't you dare make fun of me.
I won't. Physical fitness.
I know what it is. Physical fitness.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the things that happens out here is obviously your heart rate's going to go up, your blood pressure's going to go up.
Stress will do that.
Physiological and psychological stresses start hitting you. Let's even go to, where we see some of the mass shootings. Grounding yourself in one spot is definitely making you a target. Grabbing those that you love and taking off and getting out. Because what's a harder target to hit? A moving one, right?
Right.
Rule number 1, cardio. Zombies lead a very active lifestyle. So should you.
So get moving. And if you are the person that your family has to pick up and move, you're no longer an asset, you're a liability.
Especially if you're not fit. Like, God help the person that had to move me. Like, if somebody had to move me from that's a problem. That's a problem.
It is. And so we have to think of, everybody that's around us when we go out or even at home as our VIPs, right? And there's another famous person that does that, talks about that all the time, and that's Pat Mack, and he likes to talk about your VIPs around you. And he's right. Becoming that sentinel, being the person that's always on the lookout for that trouble, but all of those little things add up to you being an asset, not a liability. Those that are around you that are untrained are now in your protection. They are your liability. And if you're physically unable to move them or physically unable to move yourself, that's a problem.
Right. And I also think that it's fair that, like, Eric's not talking about being able to go and run marathons. It's being able to complete your mission.
Correct.
I think people hear physical fitness and they think like bodybuilder and being fit. Like, you're fit, I'm not, and we have very different lives and very different scenarios that we'll run into. And I'm not saying that I couldn't be more fit, because I absolutely could. However, our scenarios are very different. And I think people need to understand at home, you need to understand that you need to train for what you're trying to accomplish.
I mean, it's as simple as, look at some of the recent events. If you were in a position out in the open and you start hearing gunfire, just getting to cover.
Right, being able to get to cover, yeah.
All the while, your heart rate's going to 200, your blood pressure's going up because you're actually hearing rounds crack by you, and you're trying to move your family or those around you, or even by yourself, and you get out of breath or trip and fall and can't get right back up. That's a problem. Mobility
matters. What I think is interesting, when I think of hearing gunshots in a scenario like that, I think of the crescendo that my stress would do, because I would immediately think it's not real. Immediately, is that a gunshot? Is that fireworks? What's going on? Because, it could be fireworks, but then you switch to that, oh my gosh, this is serious, and you just accelerate through that process, and you got to be ready for it. So that is 5 easy things. Those are arguably easy. Physical fitness, depending on where you're at right now, could be a varying level of difficulty, but again, train for your mission. I think that is a great place to get started. If people want to learn more about what you're doing here at MTAC, obviously they can watch our other video, but what else? Can they go to the website? What's the website?
MTACtraining.com. They can come in, they can listen to some of our instructors talk and help guide them towards their mission. We just have autoplay videos on there. Look at our calendar, see what's coming up. If not, hit us on the contact page and say, hey, where do I start?
Right. These guys exist. Like, this business exists to make people better. And that's one of the many reasons that I appreciate Eric as a person. So thank you for sharing that info with the TGC audience. You guys, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. I would love to hear maybe a number 6 from you guys. What is that 6th thing that people can do that is often overlooked? Love to hear that in the comments. Of course, hit the like button on this video, and if you haven't yet, get subscribed, because that would be rad. Of course, check out MTAC as well. And as always, guys, we will see you very soon. Thanks for watching.